Hello, my fellow noobs and newbies to the channel. So I finally finished my dreaded but cherished nature piece, and I'm so glad it's finally over. Anyways, I want to reflect on the purpose of this drawing, which heavily involves values and a little bit of learning how to create settings. I also want to share with you what I've learned and also want to hear what you think about my drawing. I've known a little bit about value, but didn't really have time to explore value or how to implement it until now. You might be wondering what value is. Value is a part of color theory. It's a way to measure how light or dark a specific color is. Colors are also referred to as hues in fancy art lingo, or should I say, the professional definition of a color. Have you ever heard of a value scale? If you're a noob like me, you probably never heard of it until now, and that's completely fine. I'll try to keep it simple though. Just thought that you might want to learn how to sound smarter when talking about art. Anywho, when different colors with similar weight and value are painted or drawn together, they blend in easily and make the drawing seem flat. And if you do the opposite, well, you guessed it. The figures will have more definition or appear detached. So it's important to consider what parts of the drawing or colors you want to seem more together and flat, as opposed to areas where you want it to seem apart or separated from one another. Otherwise, your art is going to look like a generic brand version of a professional drawing, kind of like the Great Value brand. Get it? Okay, moving on. In this drawing, I want these pictures of long grass as its own separate group, as opposed to the rest of the different types of grass in the background. So I'm using the darkest value to make sure that it stands out. If I was to recreate this drawing in color, I might use the color green with a stronger value, meaning that it's a kind of darker shade of green. But I don't know, that's where my mind is thinking right now, but I want to hear what you would do, or if you've had a similar experience or frustration as I have. Please don't judge me. I also painted the clouds the classic darker gray manga tone that is used in literally all of the manga panels. Sorry, my time-lapse video hasn't caught up to that part yet, but it will. Just give it some time. Now, compared to some of my other nature drawings that look like a pile of I think I did fairly well to create a nature setting that more closely resembles a traditional manga background, but I'm still practicing and hoping that it will get better eventually. Now, if you think my current drawing is an improvement from my other nature drawings, then please feel free to hit that like button. But if you've also experienced the same struggle as I have, at drawing that is, or have any beneficial tips to share with the noob community, then please share in the comments below. There are many techniques and theories on the internet amongst professionals and in art groups, color theory being one of them. Though it is not a strict rule I think needs to be followed, it's a great stepping stone in the right direction. So the theory is that primary colors are red, blue, and yellow. Think of this as numbers 1, 2, and 3. But that's just it. They are the first 3 numbers in a vast world of numbers in the hundreds, thousands, billions, etc. If you combine the numbers, you get a different result, such as 1 plus 3 is 4, or 2 plus 3 is 5, and so on. These primary colors are the main colors that we use to create more complex colors and in different levels of value. It is our job as artists to identify what colors to use for tone, definition, etc., and how to use them properly in order to get the desired look that we want. Though I haven't gotten there just yet. I'm just sharing with you what I learned, but when I do, we will circle back to this video. That is, if I remember to do so in the future. Someone please remind me. While I'm talking about colors and my pictures in black and white, I'm telling you this because before you even dive into colors, it's good to know the values of light and darkness in grayscale, because this is how it will help you to think about values rather than coloring blindly. Now, there is a debate to this, and really, if you're already a pro at color, then you probably don't need this. However, for some like myself, I do find it helpful so I can spot how light or dark areas in my painting should be. The downside is that it takes a lot of time, though I'll leave that to you to decide what you want to do first. Tell me what you normally do. Do you color in grayscale first, or do you just hit the skip ads button and go straight for the coloring? So I may not be a pro artist yet, but I do understand the aspects of what makes a drawing a good drawing. It's just harder to actually put it into practice. One case in particular was doing the train segment of this design. I wanted it to seem like it was in a shadow because the light source is supposed to be on the upper left side of the canvas, artboard, or whatever you want to call it. So the train track is supposed to be in the shadow along with anything underneath it. But to make it appear in the shadow was harder than I expected. I started off with pure black and used an eraser to carve out the shapes of the track itself, as well as the plants in the shade and the vine climbing up to the side of the support beam. Another similar method I tried was when creating the clouds. After painting the clouds gray, I used the eraser again to create the shape of the clouds. And now that I think of it, I could have just painted white over it, then add some gray around the shape of the cloud to make it stand out more, and maybe give it some more definition. Though I think I just made things a lot more complicated than it was supposed to be. Yeah, man, what were you thinking? So if you know a better way, please share it with me. And I tried giving the track area some contrast with the rest of the drawing, and I know it can be a lot better, so I'm going to continue to practice. What I wanted to share with you is that if you have not considered values in your artwork, as I did before, don't do the same mistake. There are a lot of resources on the internet that you can find out about it, specifically about like color theory, values, and etc. And it's all very helpful. Remember that value is what's going to help your art have tone, definition, depth, and improve your art overall. I believe this wraps up everything I can share in this video. Thanks for watching, my fellow noobs and newbies, and we'll see you all on the next one.